Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Burnfield. I'm going to read to you our vocabulary read aloud. The teacher read aloud for vocabulary is much like the first page of our word wisdom lessons. It's a passage that uses all of the vocabulary words that we are going to be working with. As I'm reading, I'm going to stop and ask you some questions. When I stop, take a moment, think about the answer, and then speak the answer out loud. You know that when we speak, read, and listen, we create different pathways in our brain. This helps with all of that thinking that we've been working on throughout 5th grade. This passage has some Japanese words in it that I'm a little unfamiliar with, so please be patient with me. I'm going to do my best. Let's get started. The title of the passage is Japanese Cartoons Are Manga-nificent. Imagine walking into a comic book store or scanning your newspaper's funny pages. With one glance, you can see the variety: superheroes and villains, jokesters and fantasy daredevils, each one drawn in an artist's unique style. But even with all this variety, one section stands out. You can tell by the look of its characters, created in one style by different cartoonists. This style is so unique, it is considered its own cartoon genre. It's called manga. What is the main idea of the first paragraph? Think about that, and then say your answer out loud. If you said manga is a cartoon genre with its own unique style, you are correct. Even if you said something similar, you're on the right track. Let's read on. In Japanese, manga means humorous pictures. Some people have been introduced to manga at the movies, in its animated form called animagna or anime. The drawings feature the characters' eyes, huge and oval. They look out at the reader with great expression. In contrast, mouths on manga characters are drawn small in thin black ink. Noses are tiny wedges. Hair is big, shown not as many single strands, but in thick tufts that fly out from the character's head as if blown by a strong wind. Often, manga hair comes in wild colors, such as bright purple, electric pink, and fluorescent orange. That's quite a mental picture. How are manga characters different from other cartoon characters? Think about that. If you said manga characters have larger, more colorful eyes and hair, but smaller mouths and noses than other cartoon characters, you are correct. Why do you think the author provided such a detailed description of manga? If you said the author wants the reader to visualize what manga really looks like, you are correct. Let's read on. How did this amazing style emerge? Manga developed in Japan during the second half of the 20th century with the work of an artist named Osamu Tezuka. Tezuka's most popular creation, Mighty Atom, is known worldwide. Here in the United States, it showed up in animated form under the name Astro Boy. However, one of Tezuka's first works was destined to launch manga as something that, in Japan, is not just a cartoon, but actual literature. In 1947, Tezuka released his first version of Treasure Island, Robert Louis Stevenson's classic novel. 200 pages long, it was the very first tankobon. Here, we would call it a graphic novel. With record-setting sales, this book shone a spotlight on its creator. Tezuka started using his signature style to produce new works with original characters. Other artists began using this style, assuming it would mean success for them too. Then something incredibly unexpected occurred. In Japan, at that time, Reading comics was mostly a kid's pastime. As children left their teens behind, their literary interests moved on, but they never outgrew manga. Instead, they demanded new manga characters and storylines that appealed to their more grown-up tastes. Now there's a type of manga for just about everyone, and a name to go with it. Children's manga is called kodomu. Boys read shonen, and girls read shoujo. For adults, manga contains episodes of action, adventure, romance, and fantasy. Of course, people can choose from any category they like. By the time the year 2000 rolled around, manga made up more than 40% of all Japanese publications. If you have ever thumbed through the racks at a comic book store, you probably know what manga looks like. If not, you might just be curious to find out. Boys and girls, that is our vocabulary read aloud passage for today. Please go back and look at the words again. You will be seeing them coming up in the reading of our fiction and nonfiction passages over the next few days. I'll be talking to you soon. Happy reading. Bye-bye.